Shagruel Lugrid, known as the Calamity Crusher, leads a heroic group into the lair of the wicked necromancer, the corpse god, aiming to end a final showdown and bring peace to the realm. However, when Shagrua delivers the decisive blow, the corpse god unveils an unexpected magical spell. Abruptly, in an alley in modern-day Shinjuku in Tokyo, Japan, a white-haired boy with a cutthroat wound, initially confused, gradually recovers his memories as Polka Shinoyama and becomes the target of Misaki Sakamiya, a weird girl armed with a crowbar, who killed him once before and tries to do so again. Despite Polka's unfamiliarity with his current form, he stumbles into a room where he taps into magical abilities, summoning a colossal bony hand to defeat Misaki before the narrative suddenly shifts back to the fantasy world, revealing that the corpse god now inhabits Polka as Shagrua raises suspicions that the corpse god is still alive and has not entirely been defeated, even after the destruction of its vessel. The corpse god reflects on his past life as a necromancer in another world, considering the abuse he endured from the Empire. Meanwhile, Polka is surprised to realize that his actions led to Misaki's death. At the same time, Takumi provides surveillance data from his drone camera to his client, Lisa Kuraki, who grapples with the puzzling reality of Polka being alive and possessing powers. In the afterlife, Misaki sees flashes of her past, including the tragic murder of her family by a hitman. This leads her to target Polka, a seemingly innocent boy, before committing suicide. However, Misaki's plans take a turn when Polka revives her as a kind of zombie. Before Misaki regains consciousness, Polka quickly uses his magic to rescue the trapped children from the burning building, gaining attention on social media. In search of his role in this world, Polka decides to align himself with Lisa, offering his services after Misaki awakens. Takumi and Misaki assist Corpse God in settling into the torture building, unpacking items provided by Lisa Kuraki, such as earth books, and setting up a computer. They discuss Polka's cover story for his family, Corpse God's suspicion that their world and Polka's are connected, and Corpse God's plan to investigate the client who ordered Polka's murder. A man seeks Zaki's help against hitmen, leading Misaki into an ambush where she defeats assailants but gets shot but revives, and Corpse God intervenes using giant skeletal hands to deal with the attackers while she, unharmed, reevaluates his values, and Takumi questions his perspective. Later, Lisa receives a call from a disgruntled client disputing Polka's identity. Elsewhere, Kazaburo Ares asks for mercy from bouncers after a costly beer, and Tsubaki attempts to gather information from Yuri about the Shakuzawa building fire and Clarissa. Meanwhile, Iwanom arrives at the human not scene, admitting that he can hardly wait. In a Comps 3 briefing, Tsubaki discusses troublemakers, emphasizing Comps 3's role in solving non-publicized unusual cases. The at-large troublemakers are named Grim Reaper, Fire-Breathing Bug, and Lemmings. Suspicion surrounds Fire-Breathing Bug for the Shakuzawa building fire, and Lemmings left footprints at a prior incident. Corpse God transfers Polka's soul to a shark toy as Takumi welcomes back his drone. Meanwhile, Ares encounters Corpse God and Misaki, unaware of their supernatural connection before Takumi intervenes, threatening Ares with a video release. Misaki showcases her combat skills and they escape while Ares realizes Takumi's willingness to betray friends for safety. Ares investigates Misaki's footprint, connecting it to a previous crime scene. Investigators discuss Lemming's mysterious abilities. In a bar, Misaki and Corpse God arrive, and Iwanom receives a text about their potential involvement in a case before Lemmings drops down, shocking everyone there, especially Iwanom and Ares. Clarissa suggests refraining from an immediate attack on Lemmings, highlighting his non-lethal intentions, while Ares, surrounded by darkness, prepares to confront Lemmings, as Misaki quietly informs Corpse God about the eerie spirit mass surrounding Lemmings. Lemmings effortlessly defeats Ares' underlings and withstands Ares' attacks, showcasing supernatural abilities, and swiftly carries Misaki away, leading to Corpse God hesitating to use magic openly. Later, Corpse God reflects on the necessity of money and plans to start a business, leveraging magical talents for profit. The shop, a fortune-telling venture, becomes successful with Takumi's assistance, and later, the Shinoyama twins, Kazuki and Shizuki, visit. Unaware of Corpse God's true identity, who assures their safety and sees a threatening spirit over them but decides to keep them safe. Meanwhile, in a traditional Japanese home, Rasen Shinoyama looks at a picture of his wife and child, saying he can't die just yet. Shizuki, Kazuki, and Takeru Shinoyama host Corpse God and Misaki at the Shinoyama mansion for lunch. Shizuki and Kazuki inquire about Polka's shark plush, leading to interactions with other family members. Rosin, the head, welcomes Polka and seeks a private conversation. Suddenly, Corpse God senses danger, rushes to protect the twins. 2 years ago, Suzuka learns of a sinister plan involving the twins, with a bodyguard proposing a deadly alternative. Witnessing this, Suzuka tries to warn her family but is silenced by the imposter, resulting in her death. In the present, Misaki confronts the imposter, Bug, as he traps the twins in a deadly fire. Misaki's actions expose Bug, leading to a confrontation and his eventual arrest, but Solitaire, a troublemaker, claims Bug's identity is fabricated as the imposter dies mysteriously, and the real Bug observes the events from a distance, singing a children's song. Lemmings updates Takeru on Corpse God's conversation with Rosin, revealing that Polka chose to stay in the annex. Corpse God, in private with Rosin, discloses his otherworldly origin and Misaki's involvement in Polka's death. Despite Rosin's initial hostility, Misaki's bravery and the intervention of Polka's shark plush eases the tension, and he offers an android vessel for Corpse God, but Polka prefers being a robot, so Rosin acknowledges Misaki's role in saving his grandchildren and lets her leave. In prison, Soromura escapes, and Corpse God shares news of Solitaire's prison breakout with Takumi as Solitaire hijacks the TV broadcasts to announce that he'll resume his performances in a week. Solitaire clashes with the fire-breathing Bug, announcing his love for wasting things while effortlessly dodging his powerful fire attacks. Meanwhile, Polka acknowledges that everything is a lot different in a world without magic, saying that lemmings would have been considered a real threat in his realm before a knock suddenly interrupts them. They timidly go open it and are greeted by Seo. Seo arrives at the abandoned building, making herself at home as Polka's niece. Misaki and Takumi meet her, and Corpse God questions her motive. A video from Rosin reveals that Seo lost her room in the fire, and Polka is asked to host her for convenience, so the group prepares rooms for Seo and her bodyguard Zioyu. In the Shinoyama mansion, Takeru meets detectives Iwanome and Ares, who suspect fire-breathing Bug in the arson. Takeru hints at the Shinoyama's troubled past, and Iwanome plans to investigate Polka's connections. Meanwhile, Zioyu eavesdrops on a conversation while guarding Seo's door at night and secretly resolves to expose the imposter Polka's scheme before annoyingly wondering why Polka keeps rattling on about something to do with dragons and swearing on Rosin's name to expose him. Later, Polka's wondering if they'll get customers since they open quite suddenly, which Misaki agrees to before the door opens, and Iwanome enters along with Ares, asking Polka to read his fortune. During lunch break, Tsubaki, Iwanome, and Kazaburo Ares visit Takumi's school, and Iwanome asks Corpse God to tell his fortune. Corpse God refuses to locate escaped convicts but hints at Iwanome's past and an unhealed scar as the pencil mysteriously writes a message for Iwanome, leading to a tense reaction. Later, at the Yudaokoru bar, Iwanome confronts Lisa Kuraki, suspecting her involvement with Miyabi Hasorogi. Solitaire seeks information about the symbol from the grocer in Tokyo Penitentiary. The next day, airships with a similar symbol invade Shinjuku's airspace, surprising everyone as Corpse God recognizes it as the emblem of the fallen empire from his world. On online forums, a covert group discusses Solitaire's disclosure of the symbol and fire-breathing Bug's actions. Suggestions include hiding the symbol or attributing it to a new cult, with a general consensus of fear, expecting violence, and viewing Solitaire as the primary target. Meanwhile, Iwanome, Ares, and others contemplate the symbol's link to Hasorogi. Solitaire seeks information about the symbol, paying a substantial price. He then stages his own death on a live broadcast to expose potential threats. Back at the abandoned building, Seo accepts Corpse God's story. While Misaki investigates the symbol's connection to Polka, he decides to bring over his subjugation unit to this world but guiltily wonders if they'll forgive him, so Seo assures him, saying they were faithful enough to create pacts with him. Meanwhile, Iwanome visits the office of the Superintendent General, Jirotaru, who says he wants him to play a key role in the Phantom Solitaire mission from now. In the fortune-telling sessions, 4 individuals, including a medical practitioner, teenagers, and a middle-aged man, consult Corpse God. The medical practitioner vouches for Corpse God's legitimacy. Later, Takumi briefs Corpse God on the emblem, suspecting a serious case due to public safety's involvement, and Inspector Hasorogi's disappearance. Hasorogi corrects details about the culprits and expresses reluctance to name them without proof. In the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, Iwanome leads a task force discussing Solitaire's history as disgruntled officers criticize Iwanome's role, causing a confrontation, but Ares intervenes and Tozawa and Yatsu defuse the situation. Solitaire confronts Corpse God, seeking information about the emblem as Zaiouyu attacks Solitaire, revealing his connection to Corpse God, leading to an intense rooftop battle observed by Takeru Shinoyama and Lemmings. Fire-breathing Bug criticizes Bastard Children's use of Polka Shinoyama as Corpse God questions Sabaraman ties. Raincoat Bug suspects Polka's pretense. Stairwell Bug labels Polka an enemy. Corpse God senses threats. Seo Shinoyama, 2 on the roof, and wall message Scorcher. In a rooftop battle, Zaiouyu questions Solitaire's motives, suspecting a Hasorogi link, but Solitaire improvises as Lemmings intervenes, so Zaiouyu attacks Lemmings. Raincoat Bug, Ranmaru, and Tozawa encounter disguised clients while Corpse God expands the temple, causing a supernatural chill. On the rooftop, Zaiouyu and Lemmings sense an ominous presence, so Corpse God helps Zaiouyu discreetly while Lemmings, Solitaire, and Zaiouyu engage in a chaotic battle. Corpse God creates a distraction, and Solitaire escapes with a smokescreen, so he focuses on capturing the remaining threat. Lemmings and Solitaire escape Corpse God. Meanwhile, a pair of siblings watch the scene live as the sister remarks that things are getting interesting.